Hey guys, welcome back to Whitetail Affinity. I'm hunting at the Whitetail Affinity compound tonight. First time I've hunted this spot at my house, and first time I've hunted at my house this year. So, first time in 2 years now, actually. I'm sitting in this stand that's on the back side of my property, really the very far back of my yard. And I've got like my own little redneck food plot, if you will. There's been a lot of deer coming in here, a lot of does. I'm kind of on doe patrol tonight. I've seen some pretty big fat does in here quite frequently, morning and evening, so that's kind of my goal tonight. I wanted to get out somewhere on some state land, or thought about going up to my grandpa's, but I'm trying my best to stay out of my good favorite rut spots for now, till the rut's really full swing. I did some work at the house today, and I had some things to take care of, so I didn't really have time to get out anywhere far anyway. So, yeah, I'm hunting back here tonight. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at here. So back over here is kind of open hardwoods, but there's a lot of thick undergrowth, tag alder and stuff. They come through here. They travel this pinch point here. There's a pond back over in here somewhere, and there's a house right over there, and then there's another house back over here, about 100 yards behind me. Right between those two is this strip of woods, and these deer come right through here. So they come through here. They either come to my yard or they go out to the neighbors. It's real thick right in here, so they feel pretty safe. There's been a lot of big trees fall. Got one here, one over there, one here, but they've still been coming through here pretty good, it looks like. So it's real thick in front of me, but it's actually good cover, blocking me from the woods on this side. And then here's the little kill plot that I've got back here. They come out of here too. Definitely hunting at the house. You can hear the neighbors maybe jamming to some tunes. There's kids screaming. There's horns honking. Neighbor was building something over here behind me earlier. Luckily he quit. But it's a beautiful night. It's about 52, 53 degrees. Northeast wind. That's one of the reasons I didn't hunt my other stand over there in the actual woods. Got like a northeast wind, so it's hit me right in the face, blowing my scent to the house behind me. So I didn't really want to sit that stand and blow it through the woods and across this plot here. So there's been a lot of deer here. There's a lot of droppings here in this plot. I didn't see any buck sign, but I never really do usually here. Usually until November. Then they start rubbing and scrapes and all kinds of stuff here, but usually before then they don't really do much, but you never know right now. But either way, nice big doe comes through. I'm going to try to take her. So hopefully we see something tonight, guys. Thanks for being here, and let's see what we see. Well, guys, I'm back in from the hunt. I ended up seeing those two fawns, and I had a deer come in at dark. I got to tell you this funny story. Um, I just put everything away. I was getting my bow ready to lower my bow down, and I heard a deer coming. So I grabbed my bow and I stood there and I waited. This deer, I think it was the big lone doe that I've been seeing that I was wanting to shoot. She came in at like 10 yards, right underneath me. All I could see though was the outline of her body. I mean, the moon, I could just see shadows as she moved. But she knew something wasn't right. I don't know if, it was real calm, but I don't know if my scent was just settling there at the base of the tree or what. But man, she came in and she was standing there for like 10 minutes. And, finally I had enough. I'm like, man, mama's got dinner done, and I wanted to get down. So, it's dead quiet. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have some fun. I don't even care. Halloween Eve. Uh, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to scare this deer to death. So I'm sitting there watching her, and it was the funniest thing. I just went, ah! And she bolted back about 20 yards and stopped and stood there. She didn't blow. She didn't do anything. She stood there, and I wasn't moving or nothing. But she stood there for another 5 minutes. I let this go on, and finally, I was like, "Okay, I've had enough. You win. I'm done." And she trots off a little bit, and then stopped again, and I'm like, "It's all good. You can keep going. I'm done. I'm over it." And then she took off running, and she never did blow, never didn't. That was the weirdest thing. But man, that was funny. Like I wish you guys could have been there. Let me know if anything like that's ever happened to you guys. How do you get down from your tree when there's deer underneath you? Usually I don't do that. I'll usually wait and try to wait them out, especially if I want to come back. But being in my backyard, I really don't care. I was done. I was ready to go in the house. So yeah, that was pretty funny. What can we learn from this hunt? What can you learn from a boring backyard hunt that you didn't shoot anything, whatever. But you can always learn something every time you go in the woods. I try to anyway. Every time you go on a hunt, you can learn something. So one thing for you guys to take from this is the one doe that was out in the food plot. She was eating more on the browse, on the edge of the food plot. There's some autumn olive in there, and she was eating that stuff like crazy. She came out in the plot afterwards, but something for you guys to remember: if there's not acorns, there's not crops, there's not like a known, plain as day food source for deer. They're a browse animal. They're a browse creature, and they will eat leaves as long as there's green on these little saplings and thick stuff. They will eat that stuff. So that's something for you guys to key in on if you run into a situation where there's not, it's a good area, or you think it is, but you don't see any food, and so you're kind of like, all that woody browse, they eat that stuff a lot. So that's one thing. And another thing is you guys need to have a backyard spot. Okay. And you might be like, Randy, I live in a neighborhood, man. Like I look out my window and I see my neighbor's window, and I get that, I do. But you guys have to have a backyard spot somewhere close by that you can get to, whether you get off work late, you're busy, whatever. You don't have time to get out to where you want to go. And also, like right now, like I said earlier, I didn't have time to get out to where I want to go, and I've really been trying to stay out of the spots that I want to get to when I know they get real hot, in the rut. So if you guys can have a spot close to home, whether it's state land, a piece of private, whatever, if you know somebody, family, or if you get some permission from somebody, these spots that are close to your house, who cares if you burn them? You can go out there, scratch the itch, get out in the woods. Even if you don't see anything, kill anything, I mean, get out there, be in nature, get away from people, and not burn your good spots out. So that's something that I really hope you guys can take from this, is that the woody browse, and get yourself a close to home spot, a backyard spot that I call it. I mean, I know I have one right here on my property, but if I did live in town, I would still call it that, being that it's the closest spot I can get to in a pinch, and I'm not burning my good spots and ruining stuff. So anyway, I hope you guys found something out of that. Let me know if you guys have a backyard spot or a go-to spot where you just don't care if you burn it, or a spot where you get to, you just want to get in the woods and that's where you go. let me know. I mean, and let me know what you guys see these deer doing too. Are they eating on browse still? Are they still hitting the acorns? I have a couple oak trees out here. Those deer didn't pay any attention to them. So I'm not sure why. I know there's acorns underneath them, but they didn't even go near them. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And if you haven't yet, hit that like, subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And I will see you guys all in the next video.